right, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Meet the Streamer episode 3, the final before the big weekend, which is the DZR Gear Up Weekend 2. So, with us today, we have the adolescent male with the Midas touch, Mr. Golden Boy. Say hello.
Absolutely. What is up, man? What is up? Good to be here. Looking forward to the weekend. Let's get it.
Fantastic. And someone that you may already know, we also have Mr. Awesome Sauce. How are you, Sauce?
I'm doing all right. I could use some more sleep, but I'm here. I'm awake-ish, and happy to be here.
Fantastic. It was like the puppy keeping you awake.
Oh yeah. Well, actually waking us up really early in the morning, but other than that, doing okay.
Okay, brilliant. And a gentleman that actually maybe not too many of us have or know about or spend too much time with is Barsaman23. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, guys. How you guys doing? Yeah, just got off work a little bit early. Just came over here and chill with you guys. Heard you guys were pretty cool.
You're not wrong.
You heard wrong. You heard wrong.
I play with
They told
Golden
you
a
wrong.
lot, so he's a pretty good guy.
Sometimes.
Right.
Fantastic.
So the point of today, and it's the last episode for us, so it's episode 3, is really about us as a community delivering streamable content back to you as in an engaging format, right? And understanding, I suppose, in a little deeper context about what makes a good streaming channel, what the mechanics around that mean to us as streamers and to you as viewers. So we're going to try and touch on both areas of that today. Soars, you've been streaming for a while, right? So as
Yeah.
you've had many channels, right?
November of last year, so I don't feel like doing the math. Somebody else do that and tell me later. But
I'm good. I'm good.
Doing this for a
I'll
while.
go with November.
Yeah, I've kind of dropped off recently, just with responsibilities and stuff going on. But I think I'll be coming around soon. So probably not as often as I was to begin with. To begin with, I was doing like every day, several hours a day. But maybe weekend days, throw in a couple hours. But yeah, just the reality of life and things. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, over the last couple of episodes, we've asked the same question: is sort of like why you started streaming, what sort of made you start streaming. It's been a very common trend. Is people get asked how to do certain things or complete certain tasks, and obviously it can be slightly arduous in explaining it multiple amount of times or writing it down in a text format. So they've decided to almost start streaming and almost like a live walkthrough, right? Or have that personal interaction of how to help other gamers. Is that a similar situation to how or what made you want to start?
well, I kind of wanted to start because I played games a lot in college and things, and my favorite experiences were playing World of Warcraft and being in a raid group and having 10 people that you just got together with I think we did Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then every other day of the week we were on hanging out together, and it was just great to have that social part of things. But after leaving college, I was playing solo games, and then my girlfriend's brother-in-law I was playing Destiny with him, so that was about it as far as social went. So I decided I wanted to kind of try the Twitch thing to see if I could reach out and get some people to hang out with and just make some connections and networking. So I ended up doing that, had a lot of fun with it. My reason for streaming definitely has changed a lot. It started out with the social aspect, but it kind of moved to enjoyment and just kind of teaching others how to stream at some point and helping people out with what they do in their games. So, reasons have definitely changed a lot.
Yeah, okay. So your original was just more, oh wow, this is Twitch. Let's have a go. Because before Twitch, before Twitch there was a channel called, wasn't it Justin TV? Wasn't there like a streaming service? Does everyone remember that? So Barsaman, how about for yourself? What made you want to start streaming, and what sort of brought you into that? Was it the same along the line as everyone else, or?
Well, I started streaming. I've gone on and off for probably about since Black Ops 2 came out, which was God knows how long, maybe 4 years ago. Um, I used to play competitively, so I streamed that mainly tournaments and stuff like that. I started doing that with a couple friends. Um, and then it kind of branched into other things once I stopped playing competitively because just like of school and stuff like that, it was just hard to keep everything going. Um, so I used to stream like Diablo 3, Borderlands, stuff like that. I just like interacting with people. Maybe people don't know the game I'm playing and try to get them to play something than what they're used to playing. You know, there's tons of games out there. There's tons of way to interact with people, and that's kind of what my Twitch is about. It's not about getting donations and views and all that stuff. I just kind of want to help people see other games. Lately, I've been streaming Neverwinter for the Discord.
Yeah, a lot of
Just
people playing.
yeah, just trying to show people, hey, this is a game where we can still keep playing, and it's so much fun. I mean, I got it open right now. I just got to level 30 earlier. And so it just I want people to open their minds to just other things. I mean, me being in marketing, that's what I do constantly. Talk to people, try to get them to see different things. So that's where Twitch and stuff comes in for me, is I want to get as many people exposed to as many things as they can. Because I know sometimes maybe the division, it's you have that day where you don't, you run into that group of rogues and you just get discouraged. So I kind of want to get people to play, a different game and know that we're there for them and know that there's other people there, so they don't have to feel alone the whole time.
Yeah, well, that's actually a great outlook as to why you would want to stream as well. Actually, so it seems like a very Golden, you'll probably agree, a very the same thought process and same mechanism that's making people actually want to stream is that ability to help and bring, their expertise to the masses, while they're having fun at the same time, rather than sort of resorting to like blogs or writing up reviews and things like that. Twitch sort of bypasses all that and gives you a real life experience, right?
Mhm.
Well, I think with Twitch, you actually get the real thing, because I mean, I remember back in the days we had Game Informer, and then we'd have, everybody be waiting for reviews to come out, and you'd get it, and some of them would be biased, and it wouldn't be exactly what the review said or what the developer promised or whatever. Twitch, it nullifies all that. You say, okay, well, I'm going to go watch this guy, and I'm going to watch, he's a friend of mine, or I'm going to go play, and even with the PlayStation Share Play thing, you can actually put your hands on it and start playing it. So I think, now, we can go in and we can look at these games and figure out whether or not we want them. And then with the social aspect with it now is just amazing. It's no more, a game can suck. A game cannot be good. But playing with friends could completely change that dynamic. I remember Army of Two. Not a great game, not a whole, but
Yeah.
you teamed up with a buddy of yours and you co-op through that thing, man, I had a blast. It was worth, it was worth,
great game.
the $62. So I got to agree with them on that, man. I think that is a really good way to look at it. So, you're not just streaming just, for the hell of it. You're actually streaming for the people you play with to, let them see a different dynamic of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So thinking about that social aspect and sort of being able to provide that gameplay and that experience for people who may not actually own the game, but you're selling the game on behalf of the developer by just streaming it, right? And if you're getting a lot of views and you're starting to get a lot of followers, that social aspect, as a streamer yourselves, so Soars, I'll go to you first. As a streamer, how difficult is it? Because I know for me, I'm like a single mind pony, right? You have to have the blinkers on. So if I'm gaming, I can't read at the same time. So, and that's a talent, right? In some respects, that to be able to interact directly with viewers and sort of have that engaging experience and not have that gawking look on your face that I do usually.
How do you do that? It's definitely something that you have to get used to. I think it's good to grow the way that you do as a streamer. I mean, you start out with nobody following you, and then you eventually get somebody who pops in every now and then, and you have to keep turning your head to look at the other screen or to look at chat somehow, and you start interacting that way. And I think it really changes based on how many people are in your room. I mean, eventually you get to a point where it's just there are too many people talking at once for you to see everything.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to pick out the things that you find interesting or skim through any questions that people have, respond to those. But I mean, I think one of the biggest things that I learned from N64 Josh, he wrote a book about growing your stream, and he talked about having like notes that you're going to talk about, because otherwise you just go completely blank. You're talking and you're just, or eventually you just run out of things to say. So it's almost like having podcast notes, and you have a list of things that you want to talk about, anything that you can go on and on and on about, and you just keep relating back to those over and over throughout your stream slot. So that's what I started doing. That's how I can keep myself going, especially when I'm talking about streaming. I can just keep going and talk about my experience. So it's really good to have notes, really good to have something that you're good at and kind of focus on that in your channel, whatever that is, that people can come in and kind of hear about that from you.
Yeah, Barsman 23, do you sort of have the same experience? What?
Basically, it takes time. It's like with anything. A lot of people can't multitask in a sense of you're playing a game, you have your attention on that game, and then you have a chat to the side, and they're asking you questions, they're, saying stuff, and it might be on a different level for some other people. Some people have thousands of people that are watching them, where I mean, I think the most I've had is like 60. And for me, that 60, my page was just going nonstop, and I was just whoa, right. So I can't imagine those people that have thousands and thousands of people watching them. So, like Jason said, it's all about having something to talk about. If you look at the chat and you try to answer every single question, it's either you're not gonna stay playing the game, you're gonna be staring at the chat, or vice versa, you're just going to be looking at the game and kind of just glancing at the chat. There's a medium of both that you have to find, and everybody is different. So for me, basically, the way my streams are set up, it's basically a lot of people asking me about the games that I'm playing. People don't play Borderlands. People don't play Neverwinter anymore. So it's always, hey, what's this game? And that's why I'm playing, is because I want to get to understand the game so I can show them and try to explain to them why they should play the game. So to read the chat, I'll play for like a minute or two, glance at the chat, see if there's anybody saying anything that I really want to touch on. If not, I'll just pick one person out and be like, oh yeah, hey, Jason, I agree with what you're saying, and then go back to playing. So you kind of got to play, glance, see if there's anything there, and then keep playing. That way, you find that balance.
It really depends on the game you're playing too, because with a game that's just constant gameplay, it's a little bit difficult to do that. But like with Destiny, what I would do is, if I would stream, I would jump into PvP. When you're dead, look at chat, talk to somebody, get back to what you're doing. Sometimes you get really into it though, and you have to go back after it's over and apologize to everyone for ignoring them for 10 minutes.
Yeah, Golden dies a lot when we're playing Destiny.
Yeah, a lot. Yes. So I get to interact a lot more. That's the way I look at it.
Right. Banana hammock.
Exactly.
There you go, the hammock.
Oh man.
So moving on from that, obviously with the chat and sort of being able to position yourselves in between, actually playing and delivering what is a good gaming visual, and then interacting with viewers at the same time. Golden, you're extremely charismatic, and you're a great guy to talk to. Do you think, right?
Oh.
Right. Do you think that it's also your personal charisma and the way that you look when you are streaming that's important, or do you think it's just about game content?
As far as looking and all that stuff, I just drink a lot. And so whenever I'm streaming, I try and like Bar said and Saul says, there is a difference. I personally don't stream single player games. I'm constantly on Division or Destiny. So having to go back and look and everything like that. But as far as looking and all that stuff, dude, I've been on 24-hour benders, still going. So as far as I don't know. I just, like I said, man, I just go, I play, I see questions, and the funny thing is sometimes now I let people know when I'm streaming, because there was actually a couple of times when I first started, I didn't tell anybody. And so, we'd be going for, hours, and I'd be making these random remarks, and nobody had any idea, but nobody ever said anything for like the longest time. And finally I was like, hey, by the way, I'm twitching, and they'd be like, dude, we thought you were having a stroke. We didn't know. we thought you had been up for so long that you were talking to other people. So yeah, for me, it's I roll with it. I don't have notes, and it's a fault of mine. Danthrax gets on me quite often because I get sent show notes and I don't know them.
You answer a question with your own question.
Right. Yeah. So my podcast or my streaming prowess is way far from refined. But it is what it is, dude. It is what it is. I'm gonna play the game, and I'm gonna have a drink next to me, and I'm gonna play with my friends, and that's very enjoyable to me.
And I mean, Golden, I agree with how you play, because if you're gonna not enjoy creating notes and not enjoy talking your head off about things that you don't really want to talk about, you're just gonna make it something that isn't enjoyable, and you're not going to stream. And you have to keep it so that you're having fun. If you're putting so much work into it that it's no longer enjoyable, you're doing it wrong, and you need to find a way to be passionate about it again, because you're going to kill yourself on something that you used to like to do, and then you're going to end up hating it, and you're not going to stream anymore. So just make sure that you keep enjoyment at the center of it.
I think, and I don't mean to butt in, but I think he makes probably the biggest point that I try to make is, let's remember why we're here. Just like how Bar was saying, he's going back and he's playing games that he thinks are good, that people need to see because he enjoys them. He enjoys playing them, and like he said, what do you have? 60 people at one time? Who gives a shit how many people you got? He's playing the game because he wants to play it, and he wants to show other people what he's playing. So numbers are huge. We love them. Great. Keep them coming. But the core of this group and what we're a business plan, if you so say it, is one big word: fun.
Yeah.
Next one would be community. So I think if we just keep those things at top priority, no matter how far it goes, we can't lose. We can't. Not as a community, we can't lose. So just keep that in mind. Don't if it's not there anymore, then go do something. Find another game or whatever. We're always going to be behind you, no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's plenty of streamers already that kind of don't do it for the fun. They just do it for the numbers and stuff like that. And that's what kind of, you go into their streams and you can tell.
Absolutely.
And you can tell. And so for me, if you're having fun and you're not worrying about the numbers come. They always come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially having a huge community like we have on Discord. I mean, you type your Twitch in there, and I mean, people flock over just to see what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if you always put that fun factor and that point that you want to play to have fun with friends. I mean, we have a blast when we're playing Iron Banner, even if we lose, unless it's Titans. But I mean, even then, we laugh. So as long the biggest thing I could tell somebody that's thinking about streaming is do it because you want to do it and because you have fun playing a game. I mean, a lot of the times I don't stream The Division is mainly because I just don't. It's not there for me at the moment. Maybe with Underground it'll renew, but right now I go in there for 2 hours and get one thing extracted. It's just those 2 hours I could be spent somewhere else. So I don't
Yeah.
want to be like, oh, I'm going to stream Division because I'm going to get more people watching me. I mean, that's just not who I am, and that's how I feel that everybody should stream. You know.
Yeah. And I mean, streaming for numbers is also tough too, because if you stream at a weird time on a weird day and 2 people show up, you're going to be really upset and you're going to hate that day and you're not going to do it again. And it's also when you have trolls jump into your channel. I've had
Oh
people
my
come to me
God.
with the question about trolls, like what do you do? Because they come in and they start making fun of you or they're saying negative things about you. But if you're doing it because you're having fun, it doesn't matter what they're saying. You're having a good time, it doesn't matter. But if you're doing it for other people because you want them to watch, that's going to hurt a lot. So my recommendation is always like evaluate why you're upset and ban them. So that's definitely my big recommendation there.
Yeah, I mean, I found that the best way to deal with trolls is to not even acknowledge that they're there.
Yeah.
If you don't show them any attention, then they're gonna leave. I mean,
Yeah, that's what bullies do. Bullies bully
Yeah.
because they want to get a rise out of you. They want to see you get upset. So if you don't, they're going to get frustrated and leave. So
It's little
Is
immature
trolling really
children.
that bad? Is trolling a common thing within streaming? I'll be honest, I've not heard of trolling in streams.
yeah, I haven't had too much with it. I have had a few experiences where somebody's jumped in and said something stupid, and I just say thanks and then kick them out. But it's definitely something that happens, and you just have to roll with it and just move on, because that's the way that people see your character, is how you react to those things. If you like start calling them names and things like that, people are going to start leaving your channel, and that's not gonna be good for you. One of my favorite experiences was I was doing a charity stream, and we were having a blast. We were doing the Oryx raid, and we decided halfway through that we would do like funny voices for the rest of the raid. And so somebody jumped in and started making fun of us and the fact that we were doing a charity stream. I didn't even notice it. I was the streamer at the time, and I just look up at some point and I see that the people in the channel, my friends, were like standing up for me. They were saying, "Get out of here!" They had kicked him out. They had handled it already, and it's just great to have people like that and just make connections in the community.
Yeah, that's a really, really strong point. So one thing I have noticed definitely from our Discord community is we do have a lot of streamers in there, and it's become a very tight net group, right? Which is, doing a show like this has actually really highlighted to me of actually streaming, because I'm not a streamer. I am actually next weekend after Gear Up. I'm doing a 24-hour charity event, but I'll be streaming that. So I'm learning from all you guys right now. So this is brilliant, right? So moving on slightly. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to sort of go backwards to. Is the type of game that you stream is really important to the amount of fun that you have, right? And that portrays across in the stream. If you guys were to pick maybe 3 games that you enjoy the most, Barsaman, what games have you had the most enjoyment or the most interaction with while you've been streaming?
To me, it's not so much about the game as it is if I'm playing with somebody. For instance, when we play the Division, like I said, I don't do it as much anymore. But if I get on with the Brits, Elvin, Donkey, Cell, Swigan, all of them, I mean, we have just so much fun just making fun of each other. But if I'm by myself, usually I'll stick to the RPGs. I do, like, I'm doing Neverwinter now, I'll do Borderlands, I'll do Diablo, stuff like that, just because that kind of stuff is really fun by yourself, as well as of course it's better with a group, but it's something that you can do by yourself that you'll have tons of fun through the campaign, through the DLCs, all that stuff. Whereas first-person shooters by yourself are not the greatest. I had Black Ops 3. If I play by myself, I'll play like 3 matches, and then I'm like, well, this is pointless, so I'll jump off.
You don't have that same interaction or that co-op or group team experience, right?
Right. I feel there's certain games where you have to have a team to have the enjoyment, and then there's some games that you can do it all by yourself. Like the RPGs, the MMOs, all that kinds of stuff. Destiny, a little bit, not so much right now, but Rise of Iron coming up, maybe that'll change. Um, so, yeah, that's basically MMORPG stuff like that. It's kind of what I like streaming when I'm by myself, when I'm with a group. Pretty much anything, Destiny, Division, stuff like that.
So, Soars, you touched on sort of a quite potent point actually, and it sort of comes down to regularity of a stream, is day and time, right? So, do you to have a good stream or to have a stream that is familiar, is it important to pick your time and days correctly? Is there a proven formula out there as to when, or is it more about the regularity that the stream?
I would say the regularity is really important. Like with the podcast, we've picked up viewers from other shows because those shows have taken an off week. So if you're there, if you're streaming regularly at this time and you're going every day and it's easy for people to find you, maybe you have a schedule up on your Twitter, maybe you have your schedule on your channel somewhere and people can come back and see you. I think it's really important to have consistency. I've been really bad with that over the last couple weeks, but months I would say. But it's really important to keep a schedule and just go there consistently, because it's not necessarily picking the right time, because I mean the professional streamers are going to get a majority of people anyways. So don't worry as much about that. Find a good time for you. Make sure you're not tired. Make sure you're not going to get frustrated. Just find a good time that you're not going to get rushed. You can be relaxed. You can have some fun. And then just jump off and not feel bad about it. So just find a time that works for you. Don't worry about everybody else. Just keep going back.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So regularity is definitely a real strong point. Golden, do you have anything to add sort of around that? 'Cause I know you're a Nighthawk, right? You like
yeah. So for me,
stream.
yeah, for me, and it's because of my job. But I mean, I could do during the day, but I have a little girl, so you know, I keep her during the day, and then I work at bar manager at night, and then I get in, and then I stay up and do my thing at night. But also, I think my content, let's just say that, is a little bit for the later stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. Again,
after Watershed.
Right. I'm gonna go with Saw's thing on the radio. Like I'm not going to do it during the day. The weekends, I think I've done a couple. Like just popped on. Like I think we did like an 8-man, or we did, I don't know what it was. We did something, and it was during the day. So for me. And this probably isn't, great because it's not regular at all. If we're doing something that's kind of cool and like it looks like it's working out, boom, I'll hit the Twitch. But I don't Twitch on my own channel. I go straight to the DZR. So, and if nobody else is on or anything like that, so it's very sporadic. But that's just, again, with my schedule, with the things that are going on, that's just where I'm at.
Yeah, and I would definitely say it's okay to have a situation like that. Have responsibilities, have a life, do things outside of streaming. Don't make that 100% your life, because that's going to hurt things. That's going to hurt your personal life. It's going to hurt you emotionally. You're just going to get into a lot of trouble if you just stream and that's it. So hang out with people, do things outside of your stream room.
Not to mention, you're not going to make any money for a while if you're just streaming. And
that's very true.
I mean, at the end of the day, you got to pay your bills. I mean, it's tough,
I mean, I've made, I think, $25, $35 at this point. So it's money, but it's since November, $35 has sustained me very long.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like a lot of people that stream that can do it that way still live at home. And they're a little bit younger, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're younger, or even if you're older, and you can do it that way, do it that way. I feel like if people know you're going to be streaming from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock every single day, or Monday through Friday, it's like watching a show. Your favorite show comes on, what time that show comes on. So if they enjoy your content, it's 7 o'clock, Golden's streaming, I'm going to go check out what he's streaming today. So
Yeah.
that's where that's what you want to do. You want to make it to it's people watching a show, and they're like, if you like Arrow or Flash or whatever, so that's what you want to get to. Like you said, even big like streamers and stuff. If you take a week off, your numbers drop. So and they even say it. So it's like you said, regularity is the biggest thing with streaming. Besides what you stream, if you're streaming sporadically, nobody ever knows when you're streaming. I mean, let's be honest, nobody turns on Twitch notifications on their phone or anything like that anymore.
No.
I mean, it just fills up your page
Super annoying,
constantly.
yeah.
It's super annoying. So, but if they know you're streaming at 7 o'clock, then you don't have to say anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, you can post it on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, but still, I mean, your audience knows what time you're coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strong point. So we've talked about the what, we've talked about the why, and we've talked about the when. But what I would like to touch on, especially for me, I'm a new streamer, as they say, but is how, right? So what do you guys use to stream? So I know there's plenty of different ways of setups to do it. You can do it for me, I do it directly from my console, but that becomes a little bit limiting in my my attractiveness of my stream and what I can do with it. Stores, you're pretty versed, and I've watched your stream many a time, and I know you've got a nice layout and everything like that. How do you get to build that?
Well, I recommend to everybody, if you're thinking about streaming, do it from your console for at least 1, maybe 2 months. Don't try and overinvest. If you get into it and you're like a weekend and you're like, I love this, I'm going to go out and buy a computer, I'm going to go out and buy a capture card, I'm going to go I'm going to pay some guy to put together an overlay for me. And then 2 weeks later, you're like, I hate this. You have now just spent a whole lot of money on something that you don't really enjoy. So definitely start from the console, figure it out, figure out if you enjoy it, because again, you're not going to have very many people dropping in to see you those first couple weeks. So you figure out, hey, I enjoy this, or hey, I really hate this, and then you can start going from there. I actually had a gaming computer from just I started building computers in college, and I really enjoy it. I actually, my favorite story is I think it was middle school. I was sick one day, and I took apart our family computer one afternoon, and so I had all of the parts strewn about me when my mother got home, and she walks in. She's like, "You had better put that back together." I was like, "Okay." And so about an hour later, everything was put back together and it worked. And I love putting things together and making them work. So in college, I decided to build a computer for myself, and so I put it together from a few different. Like I bought a pre-built computer, and then I bought some parts to go into that. But then recently, after getting my first job out of college, I was able to put together my first scrap-built computer. And so I had that just for something I wanted to be able to use and play games on. And from there, I knew I needed to get a capture card. I did some research. I asked streamers. That's something. I mean, go and ask people, smaller streamers, what they use. I asked Guardian Outpost, Zombie Calorie, some of those guys about what they used, and that's where I got my HD60 from. They've recently come out with the HD60S, which is a 3.0, a USB 3.0 connection, so you don't have to worry as much about audio delay to video delay. So that's a really good thing. But from there, I just started building an overlay. I like putting things together. So I got Adobe Photoshop. The subscription plan is great. I love it. So you're not buying a $300 copy of software. I'm sure I've spent that, but still, it was nice to not have that huge commitment to start off with. But I built an overlay from there and put it on, and I really like doing that. So, I mean, it was all experimentation, just doing research and looking at other people's streams, figuring out what they had, why I liked theirs. That's a big thing, going into different channels and figuring out what you like about them and what you want to do for your channel. and how to make that happen. So it's definitely been a process, and but I definitely think it's worth it. Even now that I'm not streaming as much, I'm glad I have the stuff that I do, and I know I'm going to use it later on. So yeah.
Yeah, no, okay, so it's interesting. So you always recommend starting from just twitching straight from the app on your console, and then once you start to get a feel and understand that interaction experience, then sort of maybe look into, most people have a PC, right? So it's more about going out, like what Golden, I know you did this recently, was you went out and got a capture card, right? And I suppose your next step is to really understand, how to use, I'm assuming there's like some software that you need to use to be able to take that capture and then stream up to Twitch, right? Whereas with a console, it's just straight up to Twitch. Is that right?
Yeah. There was a lot of research that went into OBS. That was a lot of hours. There was a lot of YouTube videos, lots of articles. So be prepared if you're starting to make that next step.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we've gotten to the point now where consoles do so much, and they used to not. I mean, you can upload to YouTube straight from your console now, through like Share Factory and stuff like that. You see, I don't know if you guys know who Quick Death is in the Discord.
We do.
He does YouTube, and he's always in that Share Factory, working on his stuff. So consoles now are a very viable way to stream cheaply, I'll say that, because I always tell people, don't go out and buy a PC. It's more of an investment to just build one yourself. It's cheaper, and a lot of the times it's better than the one you're going to buy that costs $2,000.
Well, you also have this pride element too. I mean, I built this glowing thing over in my room. I built that with these, and it feels great. So.
Right. And you can build it directly the way that you want it to function, Sometimes when you go buy a PC, it has all these things that you don't need, and that's why the price is so high, because you don't need those things. So if you can build it precisely the way you want it, and there's tons of information that they have of how you can build your own PC. They have tons of websites, tons of YouTube videos. So if you're going to go that route, go that route. But like he said, stream for a while on your console. You can still interact. You can bring up your Twitch channel on your PC, like a laptop or something like that. You
Phone,
can bring it up,
iPad, whatever.
Whatever, so you can see if the quality's there, and see if there's like an audio delay or anything like that. Talk to your chat. That's what I do. I mean, when I stream, I can stream on my PC, but what I usually do is I just stream on the console right now, and then I'll have my Twitch up on my laptop, and I'll interact with people that way. I have a couple mods that do it that way. So that's what I would say to you if you're starting out, is stream on your console, but have another device available so you can watch yourself. There's nothing like watching yourself to perfect your craft. I mean, it's just how it is.
Watching yourself also adds a viewer to your channel. This is a streamer secret. So if you have zero viewers, you are all the way at the bottom of that list of channels.
Right.
So if you are at least watching your channel, you have one viewer, you are all the way above all those 0 viewer people. So having something open to do that, I've been known to have a couple of accounts and like open a tablet. I have a girlfriend. This was in the beginning. I wanted to feel good about myself, so I had like 3 viewers at once, and they were all me. And so I had like my girlfriend's computer, I had my iPad, I had my computer going. I felt real good.
Yeah, I get the guys that are playing with me, either at Division or Destiny. They all watch. So that right there gives me 4, and then we get a couple from the Discord or something like that, and I'll be at 8, and I'll be like, oh yeah, as soon as it comes up. And then another thing that as soon as you type in the Discord, our Dark Zone report on Twitch, I think sometimes we're like the only people streaming or twitching or whatever at that time or whatever. So I get hits right there. So yeah, I'm all for the easy viewer. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I mean, the higher you are up on that list, the more likely you are to get viewers. So, just leveraging that however you can. Real quick before we keep moving on, about the computer building, I would definitely recommend tomshardware.com. We are not sponsored by them. I'm just saying that it's a great resource. That's where I do a lot of my research for shopping for computer parts, computer cases, monitors. They have a lot of stuff on there that'll be a great resource if you're looking to build a setup.
Yeah, it comes right up.
But if
Yeah.
they're looking to sponsor somebody, I mean, we're open to that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
We're open to that idea.
Times
And
Hardware.
just to confirm, there are many other average component part PC websites out on the website. On the
Absolutely,
website.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I remember that. Tom'sHardware.com.
Yeah.
Remember
They have a great chart for like hierarchy of CPUs, and that's where I do a lot of my looking.
that. Okay, so I usually go to part pickup, but okay, I'm gonna try that out. Tom's Hardware. Cool. So moving on from obviously, just from my understanding, to recapitulate everything that you guys have just said, is basically, if I'm looking to go out and stream, start on my console first, right? If I've got a console, download the app, set myself an account, and just spend a few hours every week casting what I enjoy and have fun at the same time, right? If I find that I'm enjoying it, then how much does an average capture card cost these days?
160. I got that
Yep.
Ilago, for 160.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so not as cheap.
And the interesting thing is like the highest end, you like I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a plug and play, and it's really expensive. That's like $300. But if we're talking about like higher end, like the PCI card is $200. I mean, you're not going to be putting in too much more above the entry level. So
So that that's half the cost of a console, right? That most people already own.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they are expensive, but the difference between like mid-level and high-end is not that big. So
Okay, interesting. So yeah, so I would definitely say go to your console and spend a few months before you go and put that amount of investment in, right? Yeah, I didn't realize it was that expensive. That's right.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you want to buy a good one.
Yeah. It's just you want to see if you like it first. I mean,
Mhm.
it's like when you go buy a car, you want to test drive it before you're gonna buy it right out. So you're not gonna be like, oh, I want that Rolls Royce that's on the lot right there without ever driving it. So
Yeah.
it's just you want to test it out and see if you like it. If you do, great. Maybe you can keep going. If not, then you didn't invest anything. You already have a console.
Yeah, exactly. So moving into a slightly different area, I know we've probably not got too much, maybe 10 minutes left. But so one thing that I've seen a lot, and I've been reading a lot around Twitter, is streamers getting banned or for, should we say, almost like adult or above 18 sort of behaviors. I know there was one famous girl streamer who flashed something and got banned, and she was like a big streamer. Is there sort of any do's and don'ts that you would want to tell people that they should be wary of when streaming? Is there anything like that?
I would say find something for people to come see you for that you are proud of. Something that your mom could come watch your stream and you'd be like, "What's up, Mom? Look what I can do." And if they would frown upon that, don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously showing any kind of nudeness is obviously immediately you'll get banned pretty much. So you don't want to do anything like that. As far as maybe like adult language, you might want to keep it to a minimum. Being an adult sometimes it's hard, Golden, he knows all about that. But so basically to get banned on Twitch, I mean it takes a pretty excessive. It's not just you yelling at somebody that's watching you or anything like that. I mean, it's pretty excessive. So as long as you just stream and play normally, you shouldn't have any problems. What you talked about was, I know what girl you're talking about and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It happens mainly a lot with girl streamers just because they gain an audience for, let's just call it a certain way that they stream. So
Mm-hmm.
so it attracts a lot of younger boys and even older men. So they tiptoe that line. But if you're a guy, I mean, it's not like a lot of girls are gonna come watch you show off your 8-pack or whatever, So
What gamer has an 8-pack?
Exactly. I think Golden has one.
Well, next to me, I would.
A 6-pack.
It would be a 12, actually. That's
12.
big. That's big stuff right there, man. Watch out. So, for me, I was going to, of course, we fondly known the Destiny Iron Banner as the banana hammock, and my girlfriend has gone out and bought me a pair of leopard
Oh,
print
wow.
banana hammocks and has dared me to sit and play the banana hammock in my banana hammock. This hasn't happened yet.
No. Oh.
This
Just make
I
sure you
don't.
put
Yeah,
that you're
yeah.
streaming it that way.
No. But all bullshit aside, I do get a little adult with my stuff, but there's a couple lines that I have. There's no saying some curse words and bitching about the game and everything like that's one thing, but excessive profanities. One thing I will not tolerate is any type of racism, any type of stuff like that. We're all here together, man. We're all doing it together. We're all having a good time, and that's just the way it is for me. But as far as like profanity, sex, yeah, whatever. I've ran around some Twitch channels and see chicks with their boobs hanging out and everything like that. And like you said before, that's their stuff. That's what they want to do. But as for me, there's a line. We all have to have it. It is what it is. Don't be pulling your member out, as they would say, and swinging that thing around. So no one wants to see that. So.
No. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. I think we actually we just lost Soars actually, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's all.
He's going to try and come back on. That's not too bad. We've covered a lot of points here, so there's been a real deep dive into streaming as a whole. So let's just try and understand a couple of points, I guess, from my end. So streaming should really, I'm trying to encapsulate this into a few sentences. It's just, if you're going to stream, don't make it a chore, right? Make it something that you can engage, you can bring your mates in, have a few beers, have a spliff, or whatever you want to do, and have some fun, right? If you have some fun, people will come and watch, right? That's really what we're getting at, right?
Yeah, so it's just like a video game. Think about it as a video game. If you're playing a game just to grind it out, it's not really that fun, right? But if you really enjoy the game and you play it because it's fun, then you're gonna enjoy it that much more. So it's the same way with streaming. If you really just need to focus on playing the game that you're streaming or whatever, the rest will come. A lot of people think too much into it, like, oh, I have to concentrate on all these things. Just play the game. If you just play the game, you'll have fun. And your stream will be that much better because it's authentic. It's not you being fake. It's not you being like, oh, I love this game so much, when in reality it's a chore to you. So anything that's a chore, you don't really want to do, whether it's taking out the trash, cleaning the dishes, anything like that. So, but if it's like playing a video game, which is fun, you would do it all the time, which we do as gamers. It's what we find as fun. So in your streaming, it's the same way.
Disagree, All right, so let's try and, I suppose, wrap this up. Golden, if you, it's just right, I'm going to do this to each of you, and I'm going to do it at the end. In one sentence, gaming and streaming as a relationship, what would you say?
Gaming and relationship. Okay. So it's like this. It's like you meet a really, really cool girl, and you think you like her, and either two things are going to happen. Either you guys are going to hang out and make it a long career, and you're gonna bang all the time. You're gonna make kids. You're gonna do all this stuff. And you're gonna build a house together. Or
you're gonna do what Soars did and get a puppy.
Yeah, or you're out and you go get a turtle. But I think as a relationship, that's a good way to look at it. Don't look at it as this job that I have to go do. Look at it as a relationship that you want to invest in, that you care about, and you want to build.
Ooh, I like that. Soars, what's the relationship for you in streaming? I know you haven't had much time or been able to spend much time doing it lately, but for you if you could encapsulate streaming and yourself in one sentence?
Go ahead.
I would say that streaming is something that you do to have fun and let people see it. I mean, you're there to entertain somebody. That's kind of what you're supposed to do as a streamer. But if you're not enjoying it, it's not right. So make sure that you enjoy it, because if you enjoy it, then other people can enjoy it too. I'm kind of an introverted person, so I'm kind of the not social person. So this was kind of a challenge to get me out of that, and just kind of find enjoyment in spending time with other people, and interacting that way. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of push myself and push that boundary, to then take that into my professional career and do some presenting and things. So it's definitely been valuable for me in that as well. So just make sure that in order to make other people enjoy you and entertain them, you have to enjoy what you're doing. So make sure you do that.
Well, okay, so I'm going to have to expand on something that you just said just slightly before I go on to Bossman. So, there's a lot of introvert gamers out there, right? People that spend a lot of they like gaming because it encapsulates them. It takes them away from maybe obviously real life, but you have that whole role playing experience. So streaming is actually a really a good way to challenge yourself as a person, to talk to other people or push yourselves into an environment that's you're bringing other people into your world rather than you going into them, right?
Yeah, and it's definitely been a way for me to deal with anxiety about things and just getting stressed out. I mean, games have always been a way for me to let off that anger and that frustration. So then adding to that a way to communicate with other people. I think Twitter was a great way to do that too. I made a lot of connections in the streamer community that way. And even with DZR, that's how I was found by Damthrax. He saw my Twitter profile and was like, "Hey, look, that guy has an Xbox. Let's talk to him." So, I mean, it's been really great to do that. And I mean, gaming has always been a way for it's a way for people to connect with other people and kind of deal with some depression and things. And so. I don't know how to finish that, so back to you. Don't know how to wrap up that whole thing. So back to you, man.
I usually just stop what I'm saying and just go from there.
Yeah, well, kind of what you're getting at is the way I look at streaming. In a sense, is to me, streaming in a sentence is building a strong community, and helping people with their anxiety and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I am no way in any means an introvert. I love going out and meeting with people. I mean, it's why I have, the job that I do. I love talking to people. I can talk to anybody. I'll go into a room and know nobody, and by the end of the night, I'll know probably almost everybody. Yeah. So to me, streaming is all about helping people kind of get out of their way. A lot of people, you guys have heard the term like keyboard warriors or stuff like that, where people feel more confident online because maybe in real life they're not so strong socially. Mm-hmm. So to me, streaming is all about building a helpful and strong community where people can come to you with anything. There's tons of people in the DZR Discord that when I play with them, they're a little quiet at first, maybe they'll be like, "Hey, can anybody help me with HVTs?" And you'll go and help them, and you'll try to talk to them, and they'll be a little hesitant, but a couple missions go by, they start opening up more. And to me, that's what it's all about. The community that you guys have built is awesome. I mean, and it keeps growing. I mean, I get so surprised every time I get on, no matter what time of day it is. This person has joined, he's a recruit. This person has joined, he's a recruit. And not even the fact that they're joining, it's somebody's always there in a split second. Hey, welcome to the community, This is how you sign up for whatever console you're on, And I always ask them how they hear about our community. A lot of them say the podcast. Some people say from other podcasts. We have Bombshell Jackets, and we used to have Rogue Agent Radio. So our community is growing at a crazy pace, and to be able to bring all those people together is kind of awesome to me, because a lot of them, like Jason said, they're introverts and they don't really have that social aspect of them, and it helps them not just in the gaming community, but in their life, like he says, with presentations, with school, with stuff like that. It just creates a bond which makes them more confident in life, and I feel like that's what a community, and that's what you want in your stream. So that's basically streaming in a nutshell for me.
Wow, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You just,
Good stuff,
you just-
man.
Yeah. But it's all thanks
yeah.
to you guys. I mean, this community is awesome because of you guys, and I appreciate the fact that you guys bring us on and let us talk and build this Discord up the way it is now. Can't wait for Reborn.
So, you know, you captured everything right there, right? So streaming and, you know, the community itself and DZR as a whole is a big community, right? And we rely almost on each other for our own presence, you know, to engage with us while we're streaming, to make new friends, you know, to break that social barrier of, you know, even our own internal and real life issues, right? DZR is a lot of things to a lot of people, which is, I have noticed, especially since the time that I've joined, there are so many different types of people. There's a couple of guys who are like CTOs in large, big enterprise businesses, you know, down to guys who just work in shops. You know, they're teenagers or just live at home and don't even need a job yet. But everybody talks to each other and everybody interacts with each other on the same level, right? Which is exactly what a good community and a robust community is. Gordon, do you have any other view of how the community is, or is, you know, everything that's already been said encapsulate that?
Well, I mean, shit, Bar. You know, I mean, that's a hard one to follow there. You know, but yeah, I think as far as the community, man, and this is something that I say to everyone, especially everyone that's working on some new stuff right now. You know, this is just the beginning. You know, we've only had Saws. When did you? I just want everybody to know that Saws was actually the one that brought us the Discord and got us going. And Saws was actually our first guest on the other podcast, I think, on the original podcast. So, you know, he kind of pointed us in the right direction, and we've kind of taken off from there. And how long has it been, Saul, since Discord started?
I was on episode 9. Or wait,
Yeah,
when
but
Discord started?
No, you were. I think you were the first guest, though. I think you were definitely. Yeah, you were definitely the first guest.
I think Dave was before me.
Was you? Oh, that's.
I think he was the week before me.
Right, and then we got.
So Deep Fried Dave was the week before me,
okay.
and then yeah. But it's been a few months.
But that's it, though, right? It's only been a few months.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and
Right.
so that's the point I'm making. Let's just say 3 months. You know, 3 to 4, even 4 months. Let's say 4 months. 120 days we've been doing this thing. We're up to over 3,000 members. And here's the thing, man. These aren't members that are just hanging out and just, you know, tap in or whatever. We have, I think, I'm shooting at numbers here again. I think we have something like 15 different rooms. People are 25. People are completely interactive. You go in there, and you know there's always some rooms are smaller than slower than others. That's only because we're not focusing on those games just yet. But those rooms are there for people, and you know we will listen. All you have to do is PM any of us. And as soon as that, whether it be something good, whether it be something bad, we will be there. We are there. Yeah. We are not just some dudes running trying to get anything. We are playing the game, and we are interactive. And I think building a community through that that's where we're at, and that's what we will continue to do. So you know, to have you guys. So interactive as you are has been it's been amazing. Nothing short than amazing. And like I said from the very beginning, it is only the beginning. And you know, we're pushing hard, man. We're pushing real hard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
you-
crazy just to see the Pokemon room explode constantly.
Dude, everyone's on that thing, man. Like,
Pokemon Go.
yeah.
Oh my God, it's insane. That thing
Yeah.
never stops.
No,
Oh jeez.
that's like the busiest room we have, I think.
Yeah.
Other than the general. Yeah.
General's
Yeah,
all over the place.
General's
though.
wicked, man. That thing just goes crazy. So yeah.
All right, guys.
Yep.
Golden, is there anything else? Just literally, is there anything else you'd like to add before we do the close?
Okay, so we're doing DZR. We're doing the Gear Up weekend. I'm sure everyone that's watching this right now probably already knows about it. We're getting ready for the PS4 update, and of course, we have other things lined up after that. Get in, join us. Even if you don't need gear, or if you don't get in with us, man, check us out. Come run with us. I will be drinking. I will say things, just kind of brush me off, whatever. But, if I'm not what you're looking for, I guarantee from the streamers that we've brought in the last 3 episodes that there's a streamer for you and there's someone that will be there for you. Just get in with us, man. Get in. Jump in. Get in this Discord, man. We're having fun.
And where can we find you online, Golden?
So I'm usually twitching on the Dark Zone Report. I think I have a Twitch channel. I think it's the same one as my Twitter. It's all caps Golden Boy 11. What is it? Binary downward. Underscore 11.
No, it's not. All right, it's Golden Boy 11 underscore DZR. There we go. Soars, the legend that you are. Any closing statement, and where can we find you?
Well, I just want to say that this community has been really great. I'm happy that we have you, Binary, and we have so many guys that have jumped into the Discord and are a part of this community. I mean, I've met people and made friends that I never would have otherwise. I mean, Golden, you guys are all on the East Coast, and I'm in the Midwest, so I mean, we never would have met ever, in all likelihood. So it's great that gaming and the Division has kind of brought us together that way, and I'm really excited to see where we go from there. If you're looking for me, I am Awesome Saws. You can find me on Twitter at AwesomeSawz, AWESUMSAWZ. I do have a personal channel on Twitch, same thing, but mostly I haven't really been using that recently. I've been streaming to the whole group Twitch, which has been really great. So, yeah, hang out. Love having you here, guys. Thank you for watching, definitely, and listening.
And Barsaman23, closing statement, and where can we find you in the
Yeah, so I do have a Twitter, but it's more of a personal thing. I'm working on getting a Twitter kind of for, I guess, everything else. But on the Discord, I'm the same name, Barsaman23. You can find me there. I'm there all the time talking. Just personal message me or just mention me. I usually just messing around with the Europeans, making fun of them. That's usually what I do on Discord. And my boy, shout out to my boy Elvin Rush. I'm always giving him a hard time, but he's a great guy, and he does a lot for this community. And so he's a great guy. And then on Twitch, Barsaman23 is the new one I just made, so you can find me over there. And a quick note, I'm on vacation this coming week, but after that, I'm gonna work on. A lot of people ask me all the time about Destiny, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a team, and we're gonna run through the beginning raid all the way to the latest raid. People have always asked me, what are raids like? What are raids like? So, if you guys are interested in Destiny and seeing kind of basically the equivalent of the incursion in the Division, so I'm gonna get a team together and we're gonna run through Vault of Glass, Crota's End, PoE, and Oryx. So we'll be doing that maybe within like a week or two. So that's pretty much it for me.
All right, fantastic. Well, look, guys, I want to say thank you very much for joining us today. Let's just on a final note. So we've got Gear Up Weekend, which will kick off in almost 12 hours' time. It will start from the 29th tomorrow all the way until the 31st of July, which is late Sunday. I think we're stopping about 11 p.m. EST. So we're starting in GMT and finishing in EST. So we're actually longer than 72 hours. So we're in a following the sun weekend. We've got some loot to be able to give away as well. We've got these guys who are going to be streaming. We've got the guys from the last show and the guys before that. Hit us up in the Discord. We have rooms just flying off the shelf. There is actually someone joining every 2 minutes at the moment, so which has just been a great thing to see. If you have any questions, and just fire any admin or any mod, any elite, any specialist, or even just any old recruit as well. So everyone is helpful. Just give us a shout. You can find me at Binary Numb absolutely everywhere, but Facebook, that's my real name. But you'll have to search for that. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll see you in the Dark Zone. Thanks.